Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Buff Breakdown. So day 3 of the interludes, and we knew there was gonna be an MP buff today, and it landed on a low star, Sugitani Zenzubo. She's not even that old of a servant, but they already gave her an MP buff, and honestly, looking through this, it's a really good one too. Like, this is arguably one of the best low star MP buffs I've ever seen, I'll already tell you that much, so let's see what we're working with. So before the buff, the MP already had a bunch of lines, okay? So she has these weird checks, and the first one of them is the 85% chance to get sure hit for one turn. All of this is before damage, by the way, that I'm about to list. 70% chance to gain one turn of arts up for herself, same with Buster, and these are the overcharge effects, so they're base 20%, scaling up to 40 on max OC. And then a couple of 55% chances to get 20% MP damage for one turn on self. So again, you can get up to 40% from this. And then she does the big damage on the target. And then finally, after the damage, she has a 500% chance to remove buff success rate up buffs from herself. Now the reason this was there was because her third skill has this thing for 3 turns that every turn she gets 15% buff success rate up for 5 turns. So again, if you do some math here, first one of the applications would guarantee the sure hit, 2 applications would guarantee the card types, and 3 applications of it would guarantee the MP damage up. So after 3 turns, she would already have guaranteed max buffs from the MP. And if you get all of this stuff, it's actually very good. But again, sadly, there was this demerit that was like, oh, you just gotta wait again, which is a bit unfortunate. So let's see what they changed with the buff. Well, all the buffs that I listed, the checks, they didn't get changed at all. So these are all the same, which, you know, is kind of fine when you see some of the later stuff. She also now gets the standard damage upgrade from the MP, of course, and they also added a 150% super effective against king trait enemies, which is interesting. Also, I did the math for you. There are 15 king sabers and 9 king berserkers when it comes to servants. So a decent chunk of good targets. And again, this is not just servants alone. I think some random enemies could have it too, but mostly it's going to be against servants. So it's a nice bonus to have anyway. Then another new line is she now gets 20 stars on use of the MP, which is awesome because besides the MP trying to, you know, do a lot of damage, she also is a Buster crit servant. Has a lot of Buster up, Buster crit damage, Buster absorb, and even some stars per turn. So getting more stars is great. And again, archers having a great natural absorb is also a very good combo for that. And she has a fairly decent 2 Buster deck as well. And that's still not it. Remember that check thingy? Yeah, now it's less annoying because the demerit is gone. It's gone. She no longer removes those buff success rate up statuses. This is huge. Arguably the biggest thing about the MP, because yes, you still kind of have to wait 3 turns to guarantee you get everything on your MPs, but now, if you just have subsequent turns of more MPs after that, you don't get punished. You can just keep getting all of these buffs every turn. I mean, they are 1-turn buffs, but still, they are big. And couple that with the MP damage upgrade and potentially hitting a king enemy, her MP could suddenly be doing very, very crazy damage, honestly, as a 3-star. In fact, this has potential to outdamage a lot of gold archers too. So, wow. So, to recap again, standard damage upgrade, now has super effective on king, now gets a nice 20-star bomb, and now no longer removes her buff success rate up statuses, which makes all of these effects that much more better. Wow. Okay, so a lot of people probably won't be that excited about this buff because it is a permanent 3-star, and people, from what I noticed, tend to not care too much for low stars. But honestly, this is a huge buff. This is a really massive buff. In fact, not just one of the best MP buffs on low star, like I said, that I've seen from my memory. I want to say this is one of the best single target MP buffs I've seen ever. Like, this is really good. It's just flat out an amazing buff. Just honestly, this kind of fixed everything that was the awkward thing about her. So yeah, it's really good. Wow. So on this year's Archer tier list, we had her initial place of B, and with this is a tough one. It's an A minimum, but maybe even looking at an A+. I'm just immediately gonna jump the gun, pun intended, I guess, and put her in A+. This is a huge buff. It's a really, really, really huge buff, which will make her feel so much better and be able to do so much more damage consistently. It just helps her in every way for damage, and that's really good. So tomorrow we still have one more interlude to go, but sadly we already know it is not a buff. It is just a normal interlude for quartz. Not sure again why they left that at the end, but so be it. So tomorrow you probably won't be seeing a buff video, but don't worry, I have another video that's ready to cook. So do expect to see a video tomorrow anyway. And there you have it. That is the Sugitani buff. A really, really, really amazing buff in my opinion. So if you enjoyed this buff breakdown, do me a solid and click the thumbs up button on it. It really helps out. Also, do subscribe not to miss out on future videos, because even though tomorrow is probably not a buff day, I still have something nice for you guys anyway, okay? Rejoice Sugitani enjoyers. Thanks for my patrons on the screen right now, and Suit for being a big YouTube member tier supporter, and see ya in the next video. Bye-bye.